Hello guys, welcome to the 12th Java tutorial. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to arrange components on a Java frame or JPanel. What are components? Components are text boxes, buttons, labels, whatever you create on your frame. And when you create those components, those are not arranged. So how to arrange components on a frame so they look better. So I will teach you this one. So let's get started. First of all, I've already created a project in NetBeans. First of all, we will import two libraries. I'll import javax.swing.hysteric and I will import java.awt.hysteric. Now, we imported those two libraries. Now, first of all, we create a frame. JFrame. If you don't know how to create a frame, please watch my previous tutorial. In that tutorial, I showed you how to create a frame and buttons and labels. So you can watch this one as well. JFrame f equal to new JFrame. This will create a frame for us. Now we want our frame to be visible. Set visible to true. Now we want to set the size of our frame. I will set 600 by 400. And so when we press the close button, so I want the frame to be closed. F dot set default close operation J frame dot exit on close. Now our frame is ready. What do we do? What do we need to do next? Now we need to create a panel. We create a panel so we can um, put all the components on a frame. P is equal to new jpanel. Now we'll create a panel. Now I'll create two buttons. J buttons, J button B1 new. What I want to be displayed on button, I will just button 1. Then another button I'll create, J button B2 new. Now I've created two buttons. Now how do we make sure that how do we arrange components on a frame? To arrange a components on a frame, there are different layouts in Java. So the layouts I will be showing you in this tutorial will be grid bag layout. I believe grid bag layout is the best layout available in Java. You can arrange components on a frame any way you want to. So how to tell Java that we will be using grid bag layout? So when you create JPanel, and in the constructor of a JPanel here, write new grid bag layout. Now we have created grid bag layout. Now Java knows that we will be using grid bag layout. But how will we arrange these two buttons on frame? To arrange buttons on a frame using grid bag layout, we need to create an object of grid bag constraints. Grid bag constraint object help us to arrange components on a frame. So we'll declare a grid bag constraint object, grid bag constraints C equal to new grid bag constraints. Now we've created an object of grid bag constraints. Oh, I spelled grid wrong. Now we've created an object of grid bag constraints and we named it C. Now by using this object we will be arranging our components on panel. So how do we do this? First of all, I will add these two buttons on the panel and I will add that panel on the frame. So let me do it. I will add p dot add b1 and p dot add B2. This will add over two buttons on panel. Now we will add panel F F is our frame. F dot add panel. Now we'll add panel on the frame. Now if we run our program, it will just show two button it in on x-axis. So it will take a little time. Now here is our frame. You see there are two buttons, but these are just in the middle of the frame, and we we cannot arrange them now. So how do we arrange them? So how do we make them appear like on top of each other, or give spacing between them? So we will be using grid back constraint object to do this. So before we add our buttons or any component on the panel, we need to tell Java that we want it to be displayed this way. So if by using grid back constraint c dot grid x, what does grid x do? Grid x arrange the component on x-axis is like from left to right or x-axis, and from top to bottom or y-axis. So I will set grid x to 0, c dot grid y equal to 1. And when I add that component on the panel, I will add c as well. Now on the second button, I will c dot grid x equal to 0, c dot grid y equal to 2. Now, so this button will be on y-axis 1, y-axis 2, and x-axis are 0. So that means that button will be on top of each other. So now if we run our program, the button should be on top of each other. Here it goes. Buttons are on top of each other. Now we know how to arrange buttons like on top of each other, like x-axis or y-axis. Now how do we give spacing between? If you don't want buttons to be so close, we want to give space. So we can use again this C grid back constraint object C. So what I will do is how to do this. So we do C dot insets. We use insets to give spacing between components. In C dot inset equals to new insets. No. So as argument of insets, we give the pixels of space. How much pixel do you want those buttons to be separated from each other? So I will give 10 pixels each. 10 pixels from top, 10 pixels from bottom, 10 pixels from left, 10 pixels from right. So no button will have spaces between them. Here it goes. We have 10 pixels of spacing between button 1 and button 2. How to display them now? How to display them on left side or right side? So that I showed you in the previous tutorial, how to display a panel on the left or right or top or bottom. When we add a panel on a frame, we can add border layout dot, I will use west. It will be on the left side now. So when we view our program now, here on the left, on top of each other, and 10 pixel spacing between them. So this is how you arrange components on frame using grid back layout. So play around with it. I hope you've learned something. If you have any problem regarding this tutorial, please send me an email. I might be able to help you. So that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next tutorial.